Goeiedag en welcome. My name is Amarenske and this is Frisian Friday episode 8. Today I will be doing something a little bit different than focusing directly on the Frisian language, which is what I normally do. Instead, I will focus on a cultural aspect. That cultural aspect is this tower. It's called the Aldehou in Dutch, or the Aldehou in Frisian, and it is standing in our beautiful capital of Leeuwarden, or in Frisian Ljouwert, or in local dialect Leeuwarden. Yes, even Frisian has like 10 dialects. I might make a video about that later, but not now. The building of this tower, or the construction, started in 1529, but it was discontinued in 1533 due to complications. The tower was originally meant to be 120 meters high, but it only reached 39 meters high. At the point of stopping the construction, and people at the time did not know why it was leaning so much, which was the main complication. It started leaning. One of the reasons is because it does not have a foundation, and even though they had architects and such with the designing of this tower, they still did not know they needed a foundation. And I can tell you, you don't always need it, especially when you have, for example, rock or very hard, solid underground. But the grounds here in most places are soft enough that you need a foundation, because this place, the province of Friesland, has been a swamp before, and places of it still are. A lot of the peat has already been dug away to use as fuel for stuff, and a lot of the ground was also put on mounds to protect people against water. And Ljouwert is pretty close to the North Sea, so we can say now it is supposed to be a city built on 3 mounds. You can still feel that if you're riding through the city center. It goes up and down. Where the mounds went up and down, first it was 3 different settlements, then it became one. And the reason why this high of a tower was built in the 16th century is simply because in this day and time, or that day and time more specifically, people believed that a higher tower was more intimidating, and it was. It showed how influential you were and how important you were, and also how big your settlement or city was. So they wanted to build a high church tower, which is what the Aldehou was supposed to be, but the church has never been built because the tower started leaning so much. And like I said, Ljouwert is built on 3 mounds, or at least the original city center. In this picture I show you now, there is one angle of the tower you can see a boat is sailing, a sailboat is in front of it, and that is basically what the city looks like. We have canals just like Amsterdam. They are just not necessarily as big or as much, but we still do have them. And yeah, let me tell you now a little bit about the complications. As you can see in the pictures, this is a leaning tower, our own Dutch leaning tower to be specific. It leans more than a Tower of Pisa. It's 1 meter 99 centimeters out of the lead. If I do a rough estimate about how many feet that would be, I think approximately 6 feet, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. And that is more than the Tower of Pisa, only it might look less intimidating on pictures, because one, the angle of the picture can be very misleading. Also, it depends on where you stand compared to the tower, because if you're at the right angle at the right spot, it can feel like the tower drops down on you. It has never happened before, not even during the heaviest storms. But I did say the leaning, one of the reasons was there is no foundation. I can tell you a little bit about how it went. They started building the tower, and it started leaning almost right away because, like I said, they did not have foundations. But what they decided to do was not stop, deconstruct and reconstruct. They decided to build on top of it, but make it be 90 degrees compared to the ground, and they built up again, but the tower started leaning more. So in the end, in 1533, midway through 1533 to be specific, they stopped building because there was no reason to go on, it wasn't safe, and they did not know what to do. And also there was a very high chance of the tower falling over, which until this day still did not happen. And I can tell you a little bit about it. Has no special functions as a building, except for that it is a cultural inheritance, so to speak. It still stands, is one of the things that makes the city face look special. And as a tourist, you can visit the tower too. You can climb it, you can make pictures of it. It's pretty much in the city center. From the train station, it's only a 5-minute walk or something. And if you are on top of it, if you look in the right place and the sky is clear, it's a beautiful day, you can look our Dutch Isle. You can see our Dutch Isles. I never tried, but I saw pictures. You need to be very mindful and you need to know how they look. How it looks when you see them on the horizon in the sea, but you can see them. And I will go into a couple of facts, fun facts so to speak. The tower has only 183 stairs. This is actually a very small amount because recently I have climbed the Kölner Dome, or the Dome of Cologne, several times, and it has over 1500 stairs, I believe, but it's also a lot higher. But I have seen videos about people climbing it and it does not seem too disorienting, but my sister has done it and she said it was very disorienting to do because the tower is so lean and it is not built in one straight up line. Like I said before, the tower was, the building started in 1529, the 28th of May to be precise, and it was halted and stopped midway through 1533 due to the complications, mainly the leaning of the tower. Between 1916 and 1954 it had an electrical lift that was then taken away and reinstalled in 2011, but it only reaches the first floor now. And the only thing I wonder is how even does an electrical lift fit in that tower? It is decently big, but it does not seem at all to be big enough to fit an electrical lift or any kind of lift or elevator, you call it in English, American English, I think. It seems so weird. And then, as a final fact, it is a popular wedding location. This I did not know. I found it on the informative site of the Aldehou itself. I can somewhat envision it. I have never seen a wedding happening there, but I think it would give original wedding pictures, especially since practically next to it lies a park you can take beautiful pictures in. So I think it fits. I don't know if I would hold my wedding there unless it is summer. And yeah, that was it. This is all I have for now. I would like to talk on about this in the comments because it is way more easy to go into more depth when written down, I can say thank you for watching and tot de keer!